Hey guys, Keith from Divorce the Horse here, and today we're at the store looking for camping goods that you're going to need when you're living in your tiny house, your RV, or your camper trailer. You know, just some common sense things that you can pick up online on our website, or you know, at your local Walmart or whatever outfitter store. And these things are going to make all the difference in the comfort level that you have while you're out camping. So let's take a look and see some of these important items. Okay guys, so here we are, one of the most important and simple things that often gets forgotten: bug spray, mosquito repellent. Very, very important. You're camping, you're outdoors, summer months, gonna be mosquitoes, gonna be bugs, and if you don't have this stuff, you're gonna be absolutely miserable. So trust me, very important. Stock up on that. A small first aid kit would be nice. They also have Afterbite, which kind of relieves some of that itch and stuff for when it's too late and they already have you. So very important, put that in your list. So the next thing we're going to talk about here is camp stoves. You need to cook. A lot of times you might be in a place where you can't have a campfire or something like that, so you're going to want a Coleman stove. And you know, they make other brands too, which is great if you're not in the US, but in the US, Coleman is the brand that I would recommend. You can see the price range on that. That's about $42 for that stove, and an even bigger one that has a grill on it, you know, for $89. Or single burner units, you can use those too. And all these units have something in common, which is very convenient. They use these propane tanks, and they're small and they're compact and they're good and easy to use. Got the price range on that. That's $347 for a propane tank. You could probably cook for a while on that, so keep that in mind. Sometimes you're not going to be able to use charcoal, or you know, if you're in a hurry or things like that. And so you want a propane unit and a small travel charcoal grill if you can find room for it in your RV or your tiny house, because one needs to eat. And you know, we're going to show you how to use those things to cook with Dave the Grillmeister show segment, which can be found on the YouTube channel. Basically, Dave is a grill chef, and he's going to go and teach you the basic fundamentals of grilling different kinds of meats, and the differences between the flavors you'll get with gas stoves or you know, the charcoal stoves or grills. I'm sorry, not stoves. And you know, he's going to teach you how to eat like a king when you're on the road, because that's what, you know, this new lifestyle is all about. It's about changing the way we do things and enjoying ourselves, spoiling ourselves while we do it. Now here's another item you're going to want, especially if you're anywhere where it gets cold at night, you know, down to 45 degrees or so. This is put out by Mr. Heater. It's the Buddy Portable Heater. Look at that. That's a 4,000 to 9,000 BTU safe indoor propane heater. It's got an O2 sensor on it with automatic shutoff if the O2 levels get too low in your tiny home or your trailer. It is made for indoors. Of course, you're still going to have to have some sort of ventilation. You know, most of the time that's going to be a vent in the roof that you can open up. So you're going to want one of those, and those also run on the propane bottles that I just showed you. See, they just plugs right into the side, so it's easy. And the neat thing is you can go online and buy adapters for this thing, so you can connect it to a big LP tank and have a huge supply to keep your tiny home, your camper, or your van house warm at night. Another must-buy for your RV, camper, tiny home, all that, is a cast iron skillet. Now, why cast iron, you say? It's heavy, it's bulky. It's because you can cook over any type of flame with this skillet. You could throw it right on top of a campfire if you don't have any use of propane or don't want to cook with propane, or you can use it on the propane stove just the same. Now, personally, I would suggest something along the lines of a bigger, deeper one, and the reason for that is, although it takes up more space, you could do potatoes along with your meat, or you could cook a stew in that. That's $24 for that one right away, and you can see how deep it is. That's a nice deep pot pan to cook in, and very important, you know, for those luxuries while you're camping. Here's a nice little item right here, the camp stove cup. And the reason why this is good is you could take this if you're on your own and you just want 1 cup of hot chocolate. Instead of boiling a whole pot of water, you can put that right on your propane stove, heat up your water in the cup, and there you go. Or your soup, you know, it's for quick eats, you know, SpaghettiOs, beef stew in a can, you know, those sorts of things. Very handy for that. And you can put it right on top of your propane stove and heat that food up in there and eat it. I would also recommend getting yourself a good hatchet. You're going to need a good hatchet for cutting up firewood and making fire starters. You know, you'll need it for cutting things and that sort of thing. So a good hatchet is good to have around. You know, not very expensive, $20, $14. You can find them online. Follow the links to Divorce the Horse website, and you can find them there in the camping area. Very good, very important to have, very useful tools. And last but not least, we have this little item up here. It is a camp cooker. If you want to find them online, they're called Tonka toasters, Tonka toaster. And basically, you know, you can make sandwiches, grilled cheese, hot ham and cheese over your campfire or your LP cook stove. But also some fabulous desserts, guys. Fabulous desserts. And in my other segment on the Divorce the Horse show, Campfire Cooking with Keith, I'm going to show you how to use these things and make yourself some excellent desserts so you could treat yourself on the road and live like a king. Now, believe it or not, another important item is the walking stick. Now, these walking sticks are fine, but they're only good for hiking with. And, you know, they're used for when you're tired or where you're going up steep hills. That makes it easier to get up, you know, inclines and things like that. But what you want to buy is you want to buy a wooden one. One of the more expensive wooden ones. And you're like, Keith, why would I want to buy a more expensive wooden one when this is all neat and it collapses into a small space and all that? And the reason being is protection. Protection. If you're out camping in the woods or in a parking lot somewhere and you have a hiking stick and a wild animal comes up and attacks you or tries to start some problems, or God forbid some humans start messing with you, your walking stick is now a weapon and you can use it to defend yourself. You get this thing here, this little aluminum pole here, you know, it's gonna be like tapping them with a fly swatter. That's not even gonna affect an animal. So you want a wood hiking stick to walk through the forest with when you're camping, especially in the United States. We have wolves and coyotes and mountain lions and bears. And if you come across one of those bad boys and they decide to start trouble, you're going to wish you had something. So the wood camping stick for hiking, also found on our website if you want one. And they make some really cool, really decorative ones, and they're nice and thick. It'll be nice to have that between you and a wild animal or a crazy person who wants to start trouble. Trust me. And then later on in the martial arts section of the show, the workout video, we'll teach you how to use that stick as a bow staff. We'll train you to use it to be able to defend yourself with. Very important, because it's a weapon that's not a weapon. And that'll save you a lot of hassles. You know, if you grabbed a baseball bat and beat somebody up, you could go to jail for that. You know, if you have a hiking stick and they attack you, you're just defending yourself. And that's understandable. Very important. Safety first, guys. Very important. So another important thing you need to have is a sleeping bag. Blankets are not good enough. I mean, if you live in California, I suppose they might be, or Arizona or Texas or something like that. But for the rest of the Midwest, blankets are not good enough. You need a couple of different sleeping bags for yourself. And you're like, why would I need 2 sleeping bags? Well, because in the summer it's hot, so you need a light sleeping bag so you don't roast to death. Very important. You don't want to sweat all night long. And in the winter months, especially in the middle of the country in the upper Midwest, you need a mummy bag. A mummy bag which is rated for, you know, below 0. And you're not going to find something that's rated below 0 at your Walmart or your Target or your convenience stores. You know, you probably go online. Sierra makes a really good Sub-Zero sleeping bag. You know, it's going to cost you $100 or so, but It'll be nice to go to bed in your camper, and when the fire goes out or whatever, to be able to go and stay warm all night long. And that Sierra Sleepy Mummy Bag will do the job. So once again, you can go to Divorce the Horse and go to our camping site. We'll provide links for that for you there, because we don't want you to be cold. We don't want you to be miserable. We want you to enjoy your life. And sometimes you have to spend a little money to do that. But that's part of this lifestyle. This is part of this adventure, and it'll be good for you. Okay, and another important thing to think about here, if you're going to be out living in campers and out in the woods, whether it be on state or federal campgrounds or BLM land, which is Bureau of Land Management, that's government-owned land that you can camp on, but it's always dry camping. You're going to want a good pair of boots on your feet, you know, for around the campsite, especially if it's wet out. And I'm going to show you some things you're going to need to look for a good pair of boots, and help you figure out how to waterproof those bad boys. Very important to have dry feet, dry socks, especially in the fall and in the springtime. You know, don't want to get sick. So let's check out these products. So first we're going to start out with what not to buy. Now these boots are great for around town and hiking and stuff like that, but notice they have a mesh side to them, like right there, the mesh side. You can't waterproof that, and if it's wet and rainy out, you'll get wet feet, and wet socks lead to misery. You know, when your socks scrunch up between your toes, that sucks. But also blisters and athlete's foot. No fun to go through those things when you're out boondocking. This particular pair of boots basically doesn't have much ankle support. Although it's a good boot and it doesn't have any mesh on it, you know, it's all leather, which is important. Once again, it only goes up to the top of the ankles, and you really want something that goes a bit higher for good support when hiking around in the woods and things like that. Definitely worth the extra money to buy a boot that has the support. Now, while not my favorite color, I would hold out for a black one just because that's what I like. This is something more what you're looking for in a boot. Something that's all leather, all the way up, all the way down. So you could waterproof that sucker, you could step in puddles, even walk into a little tiny stream and keep your feet dry. Very important for camping. And now I'm going to move on to show you what you need to waterproof your boots once you buy them, because they do not come that way. So this is what you're looking for here. It's going to either be called Mink Oil, which is not a Kiwi brand, but it's used for waterproofing leather boots and things like that, or this Kiwi here, the conditioner. And you're going to take that and put that on your boots before you even wear them. Take the laces out, and you're going to want to put down a whole layer of polish. Leave it on there for about an hour or so. Follow the directions on the back of the can. Wipe it off, and repeat that process over a 2 or 3 day period, you know, once a day, so that the oil has time to soak into the leather, and that'll keep your feet dry. So as you can see behind me at my local retailer, Walmart store, there is a wide selection of rain gear. Very important. Once again, I would skip the poncho, and the reason being is no matter how hard you try, your legs, the bottom of your pants, and your feet are going to get wet with the ponchos. You want to go with a 2-piece full suit. The more expensive the better, because that means the quality of the leather or plastic or rubber or whatever it is made out of is going to be improved. And you don't want to skimp on your rain gear. You know, there'll be times when you're out in the woods camping and it rains all freaking week long. And I've been there, and I tell you what, it's miserable if you're not dry. So very important. You don't want to get hypothermia. You could die from that. You could die from that in your sleeping bag, in your RV or your tiny home, because you got wet and stayed wet too long. Don't risk it, guys. Not worth it. Do yourself a favor. Buy some good quality rain gear. You can also find that on our website in the camping section. I'll put a link in the description below. Okay guys, so that's it, and those are the tips that we have for you for camping, RV style. Some of the things you need to make your life more comfortable. That's what we're here for. We're here to make it easier for you, to help you be more comfortable and enjoy yourself in this new lifestyle choice. Remember to share, like, and subscribe, and send this to your friends. They don't necessarily have to have gone through a divorce to enjoy the benefits of these camping tips. It could be for anyone. Anybody who's just going to go camping for weekends, or wants to try the RV lifestyle. we want them to be comfortable and safe too. So this is Keith from Divorce the Horse saying, signing out. Have a great day. Love you guys. And we'll see you next time on Divorce the Horse.